please teach.
Oh, yeah. Hi. Okay, homework me.
All right. I'm trying to click to share screen, but nothing's happening. Tim, do you need to give me ability to do that? There we go.
You have ability to do it. Ah, there we are.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, welcome to the first quiz of this class.
Wow.
So I apologize in advance. It's always kind of hard to read the quizzes before you've really gone through what happened that day. So anyway, okay, so what are the three major sections? We've just started a new section of the book. K-J, remember, he's talking about emptiness. Okay, so we've just started a new major section. And now what are the three subsections of this part of the book where he's going to explain the actual topic of the book? Do you remember? We covered it at the beginning.
I remember the first one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I was studying it this morning.
Oh, cool.
But I'm not going to say it. Unless you offer some money.
It's kind of the thing we've been talking about. Identifying the teachings of the Buddha that must be interpreted and those that can be taken at face value. And then he's going to explain the books of Arya Nagarjuna and the commentaries written on that, on his true intent. And then we're going to reach a definitive understanding of emptiness based on those books. So can anyone give me the Tibetan for "will explain the actual topic"?
It gets really
you know
quiet.
Explain, right? You know explain.
It's only during the homework that everything gets so quiet.
So explain that would come.
Good.
It's got a couple of the same words. So start with no. Now there's some words in there that don't occur.
Nasuma Shepa, something like that.
It's Shepar Chawe Chunu.
Cool.
In event.
But you guys, those were good guesses, especially
Yeah.
Nick's was a good guess.
It's a lot of ways to say it, I guess.
Okay, so if we desire to reach suchness, we need to rely on the teachings of the Buddha. That seems pretty straightforward, right? So why does K-J have to spend so much time talking about this topic?
Because not everyone agrees on doesn't even agree that the Buddha said certain things or didn't say certain things.
That's true, but it's kind of before that. I guess maybe I didn't ask the question quite right. So Buddha's teachings were varied based on who was in the room and what level of intelligence they had. So he spoke a whole number of different things in different ways. So which ones do we rely on then? If we have to rely on his teachings, which ones do we rely on? Okay, so now, Tim, K-J spoke about disagreement among those of the listener track about the Buddhist teachings. What is the point of disagreement among them?
Well, some in the lower school will say that the Mahayana is not even figurative or literal because it wasn't even spoken by the Buddha.
That's actually not what I'm looking at here. I'm looking at something that they disagree about. Some of the listeners say that every single thing the Buddha ever spoke was literal. How could he ever say anything that he didn't mean? And some say that, oh no, there were teachings. There were both kinds of teachings. There were literal teachings and there were figurative teachings. Now, Tim, what are two things about which those of the listener track agree?
Sorry, I'm a little bit too far ahead. Shall I say it again?
There are two things. The one that you mentioned before is the second.
One.
At least that was in that paragraph.
Oh, was one that he cannot lie, right? Or something like that?
Impossible.
That was the reason that some people from the listener school say that the Buddha always spoke what he meant. He always meant what he said.
Taking
So
the words at
listeners-
face value.
Right. Listeners agree that what the art of interpretation means is whether or not it's appropriate to take the Buddha's words at face value. And now, Tim.
Some might, I finally get it. So some might say that
No, they agree.
they agree that the Mahayana was not even figurative or literal.
Yeah, there's not, because it's not even the words of the Buddha. Now, had I really understood what the last thing we talked about, we would have gone on to the next question about that issue. But anyway, here we go. So I suppose there's no English equivalent of Changne.
I guess not.
Of interpretation.
All right. What's that?
No? The art of interpretation.
Very good. Dra Jishindu.
Face
Face
value.
value.
Very good.
Take-
At face value. Don't forget the two. At face value. Okay, here's a long one. Tu droki dran jukpe shir gyurpa.
Wow.
Siri thinks I'm trying to Apple Cash.
They spread what they heard, but they are not interested in practicing.
Okay, so spread what they heard. You got that part. That's the two troke.
Yeah.
But what's the dran jukpe shir gyurpa?
They don't want to follow
They
it.
spread what they heard.
No, it's no. Those to whom the expression they spread what they heard applies.
Yeah,
That's
good.
it.
That's difficult. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good translation. Yep.
Okay,
Yay.
thank you.
Cool,
Buddha
dude.
says thank you.
All
Did
right,
you-
we're going. What's that?
Do you hear the lion? I tried to add this lion's roar to one of my quizzes, like, I don't know, 2 years ago. And I hear it every time I do a quiz, but I guess you guys don't.
When you
Can you
share,
click share? Oh,
when you share your screen, there's a button at the bottom that says share computer audio. And then when you do that, it'll give us the
Oh, I see.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, I see. I gotta learn that. Okay, here we go.
Do you want to look at my attempted translation of the next?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or-
Yeah, let me cancel
Or-
my. Okay.
Or do I
go-
just tell you when you show
No,
your screen?
Let's show it. You go ahead.
Oh, Siri, God, just go away.
She gets told go away more than anybody in the whole world. I think.
Oh, I got a hymn. Let's
Oh,
see.
sorry.
I think this is the right one.
Ooh.
Do you see it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
a bit too small now.
Is it?
All right, too big.
What, are you the three bears here?
Perfect. Just right.
Oh, it's so bad, huh?
No, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. The Che, you know, in English, you would say made a great many mistakes. Okay. You see what I mean? We don't say created a mistake because it's too conscious, right? Yeah. Yeah, good. It's also almost perfect. Yeah.
I wanted to have more of, to show more, or a link to what he just said in the previous sentence, which is, okay, we got listeners, but then we have, listeners who are called the ones who listen and spread.
Yeah, I think
I wanted to make more of a link that this last one about expound its philosophy, the Druptamawa, how to make that sound more like spread.
One important thing you have to do with this sentence is distribute the word niente to Drupta also.
Well, I did sort of. I said its philosophy.
Are they talking about
it's,
expounding the Drupta of the listeners, or is it that there's some listeners who expound the philosophy of the Mahayana?
No, what he's saying is there have been many Tibetans who failed to distinguish between listener as a track and listener as one of the four schools.
Oh.
You see what I mean? Or as two of the four schools. You see what I mean? Listener
How
as
about just as a school of philosophy?
Yeah, or a classical school. Listener as a classical school, and listener as a track.
Like it's practitioner.
And it's an important distinction. And once you get fairly sophisticated in your translations, when you see niente, it could be four different things. Okay, niente could be Shravaka, could be four different things. Number one, any disciple of the Buddha, okay, could be called a niente. And in the early sutras, it just means disciple. Or it could be specifically those people who Tudrok, who in the early days of Buddhism heard the Mahayana from the Buddha and spread it to other people. Then those nientes are called Tudroks. Yeah. Then there's the niente track among the three tracks. What are the other two?
Self-made Buddha and Bodhisattva.
Yeah, exactly. And those tracks are kind of parallel to the three tracks of the Lamrim, which are Kebu Chung, Kebu Jing, Kebu Chumbo, right? Person of lesser capacity, medium capacity, and greater capacity. Although they're not exactly the same thing.
Right.
And lower middle way is the big supporter of these three tracks. Okay. That they're the guys who really, really want to talk about these three tracks. Okay. And they say those three tracks are differentiated by what kind of no self do they see? What kind of no self do they see? Only the Mahayana track sees emptiness. And the other two tracks see no self nature of things or people or etc. Okay. And then the fourth, what was I thinking about? The fourth is actually oftentimes the detailer school. And sometimes the detailer school plus the what's the next school up? Logic schools, right? Sutras, okay. So oftentimes it's almost derogatory use for the first two schools. You see, and what Kirubje is saying here is that a lot of Tibetans have made the error of not distinguishing between 3 and 4 here. Okay. That's why you have to distribute the word niente to drupta in the sentence. It has to say niente ki tekpawa dan niente ki drupta mawa. Okay. He says a lot of Tibetans have failed to distinguish between listeners as a track and then listeners as some of the four schools. Now, if you're Seiji, what are you going to do here?
Talk about self-cherishing.
No, I mean today, Seiji, in his Q&A, in his homework.
I don't, can I ask, I don't know what Seiji's going to do, but how do I deal with the wa here? Aren't we talking about people, not
Oh yeah, that means that
categories?
Yeah, exactly. It makes a follower of a track and a follower of a school. Okay, if the wa wasn't there, it would say they have failed to distinguish between listener track and listener school. But now the sentence with wa means they have failed to distinguish between a follower of a track and a follower of a school. Okay.
Is he going to, thank you. And is he going to go on and talk about like why that distinction would be such a big deal? Like,
no, he doesn't.
Difference?
No, he doesn't.
What's the difference between someone who cares about tracks and someone who cares about philosophy?
That's why I'm going to Seiji's approach. What was Seiji's approach?
Thank you.
What did he do this morning?
Mushi.
In his final question, yeah. Mushi. So give me the 3 or 4. What are the possible combinations of a listener track follower and a listener school follower?
I have no idea because I don't know what they mean. Seriously, I don't know the distinction of what that means to be a follower of a track and a follower of a school.
Listener track follower wants to go through the 5 paths without having bodhicitta, first of all, okay? They don't want to deal with bodhicitta. They just want to see emptiness and become an arhat.
Yeah.
And in fact, they want to see a lower emptiness and become an arhat, okay? That's a lower track listener, okay? Now, what's a lower school listener? Basically...
Same thing.
You could say they want to follow Abhidharma, but they don't want to follow mind only or middle way. As schools, you see what I mean?
But they still have the aspiration to become enlightened, however it is they define it, right?
No, you have to say Nyen Turkey Chanchub to Dundunyewa. We had it the other day. They aspire to the enlightenment of their own track.
Well, that's what I said.
Which
they
is a lower
to the enlightenment that they define
of their own track, which is a lower arhat. Yeah.
Okay, so what text can I go to understand what the difference is between a track and a philosophical school?
That's a huge question.
Chunimama takes a few stabs at it in my book.
Yeah.
I think for this you kind of need an oral explanation. You could read a genre of literature called Lam Toptul, LAMTHOBTSUL. And it's actually the first translation we ever did, 1985 or something. Methods of Achieving the Path. If you're really interested, get that book. I think you can buy it on Amazon for $100 or something. It's a little pamphlet. Or I think Ellie might have a copy somewhere. But it defines the difference between the 3 tracks. Okay.
No, I kind of understand the difference.
Yeah, but it's complex.
But
It's fairly complex. And then for the 4 schools, you know the differences. Yeah, we're going to talk about that now.
No, I'm just looking at the 2 together. Why would you care? Track versus school.
Yeah. Now, how did we get into this conversation? Because we have to.
I'll get rid of.
We're not finished with this conversation. We're not finished with it. He's going to continue with it.
Yeah.
And the point is there anybody who's a Nyente, who's a listener, who is Mahayana?
I'll be interested to hear what he has to say.
Wait, go back to your list of 4. Show your
My,
list.
Sure. you
my
can do
list
it.
of 4. Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Oh man. Sorry.
Go ahead,
My
take your
computer
time.
likes to do its own thing sometimes.
I wonder where that came from.
I have no idea.
Uh,
Oh, I can't find where it is. I have too many things.
yeah,
Oh,
Peter Myrtle got it. Anyway, the first of the 4 was any follower of the Buddha, right? So those could obviously be Mahayana, right? Those listeners could be Mahayana.
you could also have a person who has the wish and is on the path of accumulation or preparation and has not yet developed their view of emptiness, right? So that they would be
Yeah.
a Mahayana person in their heart, but philosophically be a listener.
That's stretching it, but that's possible, I guess. And then, but the Tudrok is the big exception here. What's that mean?
listen and spread.
Yeah, these are guys who are not interested in practicing Mahayana, but they went to the lectures by the Buddha and they heard the Mahayana. Okay. So those guys are special because they can never say what?
The Buddha didn't teach Mahayana.
Yeah, it's not ka. It's not ka. It's not the word of the Buddha. They cannot say that, but they are not Mahayana people. Okay. So that's what we're going to go to right now. Yay.
Thank you.
That was slick, wasn't it? Okay. So we finished that sentence with great pain. And now we're going to the next paragraph. Okay.
Which I started to do,
let
and
me
that
see
gave
who
me
we got.
great pain.
It should have. Gibson, can you check Venerable Upala's pronunciation on section 116?
Yes.
Sungrang ki trangne jepe sula takpa chempoi shing tan tai droni nite
Suni.
nitar. I'm sorry.
Suni.
Sulni
Yep. So,
tai sulni nite nitar. Tode gongpange pandrelwe do je sutrangte. Pakpa tok me kuche ki jitar chewa tang. Pakpa lo dru mi sepa ten pala sope doi jesun drangte. Pakpa ludu yab se ki jitar chewe sulo.
cool. Nice. And now we get into some, your book is one of the greatest presentations of emptiness ever. And here we go. I mean, it kind of feels like we're jumping in the pool now.
Cool.
Okay. Sumrab ki change jepe tsula. This J, notice it's J, okay? And that's why pronunciation is important. That's why Geshe-la is bugging you about prenasals, okay? J means to divide. J means to do. Please repeat, J.
J.
Then say J.
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 Okay, this is divide. And never forget, okay, if you don't hear a prenasal in your head, you will never be a good translator, okay? So, Sung Rab Ki Change Jepetsu, okay? How do we divide between Chang and Ngeden okay, in the Sungrab, okay?
In the teachings of the Buddha.
Yeah, so the highest of all spoken words, technically. Okay, how do we divide between what he meant literally and what he meant figuratively? How do we divide it? Well, there's two parties. There's two schools. Okay. Even among the
Innovators.
Shinta.
Of the Mahayana.
Now, be careful. This is not Sunje, okay? This is just So. Shingda Su Nje is the innovator. Shingte Suru means the innovation.
Oh,
Got it? Okay.
okay.
So you got to be careful. This Sul you can think of as Sul, Tsul, same thing. Okay. You can think of Sul as Sul. Okay. So there's two ways. There's two systems of the great innovators of the Mahayana. Okay.
No, wait. The innovations. I'm
You
sorry.
can say
I'm
innovations.
confused.
Yeah, there's two innovations about this. Okay, meaning two innovators have two different ideas about it. Okay. All right.
What's the Xing doing here then? If we're talking innovation, not people.
Shinta means wagon, wooden horse.
Oh, okay.
Right. So that's the object of an innovator's innovation. Okay.
So it's
The horse is the the
object.
wagon is the invention. The sul j is the inventor. Okay.
So there are two inventions of
Yeah,
the Mahayana.
Yeah, you could say it that way. Okay. Here they
I'm
are.
sorry, two
Ditar means,
innovations.
ditar means, let me give them to you. Okay. Let me tell you what they are. And I'm going
I'm
to.
sorry, I'm yelling because there's a lot of noise and it feels like if I don't yell, you won't hear me.
Oh, we don't hear the other noise, but we're okay.
Oh, I see, man.
So first of all, the first camp, innovator camp, is Tokme Kuche. Who is that?
The first innovator camp is Arya Asanga and Master Vasubandhu.
Good. Yeah.
Holy brother.
The two brothers. By the way, by adding Papa in front of it, he's implying that he thinks Vasubandhu was also an Arya.
Okay.
The twin Aryas of Tokme. Okay, starting with Tokme, right? Okay. And they follow Jason Dung. Okay, they follow Sandhi Nirmochana Sutra. They follow the sutra called What
Unraveling the True Thought. No?
Yeah, or What I Really Meant. I like to.
What I really meant. Okay.
You could say it either way. Okay. Really, it's unraveling the true thought. And there we get the word dwell in its real meaning of dual, which is to free a knot. Okay, so it's the same that we had in Age. What did we have in Sage's text this morning? Same root. Del du
I'm sorry, I
sul.
can't hear.
In Sage's text this morning, we had del du sul. Please del this guy.
Free this guy.
Yeah, and then delpa commentary means to free the meaning from a book. It's the same root. So here you see the sutra Sandhi Nirmochana. Nirmochana related to moksha, meaning liberation. Liberate the meaning from the book. Okay, try to thresh out the true intent. Okay, chewa is the past tense of
Jewa.
good. Jewa.
Jewa, sorry.
Jewa. Okay, so as far as discriminating between what the Buddha really meant and what he didn't really mean, we have the division that was made by these two guys.
I'm sorry, Geshe,
okay?
Can you ask Veronica not to run water while you're teaching?
Yeah, it sounds very loud to me. Yeah, no, we're good. Okay, no, it's okay. It smells good too. So there's the way that things were divided. There's the way the distinction was made by the two brothers, two half brothers, okay? And they were following what?
They were following the Samdhi Nirmanachaya Sutra.
Which is not a bad strategy. Why?
Because it's the word of the Buddha?
Stanley should know the answer to this question because we spent a long time on it in China South Power. Because Yensei devoted 1,000 pages to it.
Because Buddha was trying to explain what he meant in that.
Yeah, Buddha was defining Chang'e, okay, in that sutra. Okay, so somebody comes up to Buddha and says, why did you present different teachings in the second turning of the wheel and the third turning of the wheel and the first turning of the wheel? In that sutra itself, Buddha defines what he meant and what he didn't really mean. Okay, so that's not a bad place to start, is it?
Not at
Good
all.
place to start. That's a good place to start. Okay, and then you got Pakpa Ludrup system,
You've got Arya Nagarjuna and his spiritual son,
which is
Chandrakirti,
Aryadeva.
Esther, are you
Arya Deva.
Right there.
Okay, then you've got the way that they divided it. Okay, they didn't use study or sutra. They didn't use the sutra. They chose a different sutra. They based their division on a different sutra called Lodru Misepa Temba. Okay, the sutra
Inexhaustible
taught by never-ending wisdom, something like that. Okay?
Never-ending wisdom.
Akshaya Mati. Okay, never-ending
Akshaya
wisdom.
Mati.
Okay. Yeah. Now I'll give $20 to anybody who can tell me the problem with the Pakpa at the beginning of that name.
It could mean Arya, but it usually means exalted in front of a sutra.
Nice. $20 to who was that?
Word.
I know. Ali, $20 to the master banker. Yeah, to be frankly, I would take it as referring to the sutra here, but it's a little difficult because he already has two Aryas referring to people, okay, in the same paragraph, okay? Pakpa Tome definitely means Arya Sangha and Vasabandhu. Pakpa Ludrup means Arya Nagarjuna. But Pakpa Lodru Misepe Tembe Dolo Sope Do probably means exalted sutra. And by the way, Venerable Utpala, every time Kamala Shila quotes a sutra, he says Pakpa, and it's noticeable. It's very noticeable. It sticks out. It means he really thought the sutras were amazing. You know, he never says the word sutra without saying Pakpa. Okay, got it? Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So here we got. He says, look, there's two different ways of deciding what did the Buddha really mean and what did the Buddha not really mean. Well, there's the way that Asanga and his team defines it. And then there's the way that Nagarjuna and his team defines it. Okay, got it? You guys okay? By the way, here's the title of that second sutra. As usual in the Kangyur starts with Pakpa or Arya, okay? And here's the Akshaya, okay, which means never ending, okay? All right. So we're gonna go to, first of all, how the two brothers decided what was literal and what was not literal. And remember, they are following that sutra, okay? By the way, who can tell me the whole structure of Tsongkhapa's famous Art of Interpretation book, Leksha Nyingbo? Who can tell me the whole structure?
Earl says the three turnings.
Well, actually, it's this. The first half of the book is Arya Sanga's team's idea. And the second half of the book is Arya Nagarjuna's idea. Okay, got it? So Hidab is just following his
teacher.
Yay! Okay.
Good idea.
All right, here we go. Okay,
Anthony.
please read. Okay, and Gibson, you're still checking.
Okay.
Dogondrele, Dundamyang Dakpaki Shupe Lule.
Translate.
So,
By the way, Gode Gongdel, or it has many abbreviations. I'll give you that.
Sorry, I didn't go ahead. And
Oh,
my
the
mind is
name
not
of-
here today.
It's okay. The name of that sutra, dividing.
Oh, the true intent one?
Yeah, it has.
Unraveling the true thought?
There's a million nicknames for it, and you just got to get used to it. Okay, so yeah, what I really meant. Okay, do gong do. It means do de gong do. Okay, it has in it a liu. What's liu?
A chapter or a section or something?
Yeah, requested by Dundam Yandak Pak.
Mm.
What's it?
Oh
Paramartha.
gosh, what, the ultimately
Paramattha
perfect
Samudgata.
Buddha? Or Arya?
Paramattha Samudgata.
Yeah, Paramartha Samudgata. Okay. His name is, something like ultimately, purely Arya or something. Okay. It's a guy's name. Dun Dam Yang Pak. Okay. And Nick, do you remember the structure of that sutra?
Isn't it kind of divided into discussing Kuntaks, Shenwangs, and Yongdrups?
No, it's 10 different bodhisattvas.
Oh,
If I'm
yeah, of course.
Yeah, 10 different, I think it's 10 or 11, but 10 different bodhisattvas come and ask a question, okay?
Yeah.
And I believe it's the 6th or 7th chapter, but we are interested in the chapter that started off with a question from this bodhisattva. And by the way, there are other important bodhisattvas there, Manjushri, Avalokiteshvara, people, there are heavyweight bodhisattvas are asking questions to the Buddha. And Dundam Yandak Pak's question is, what the hell is this thing with, first you say everything exists truly in the first part of your teaching, 20 years. And then you do this Diamond Cutter Sutra, Heart Sutra thing, and you say nothing exists really. And then you back off on that and you say everything's mind only, there's foundation consciousness, blah, blah, blah. There's 3 periods in your career, Lord Buddha. Which one's the real one? Okay. Got it, you guys?
Yeah.
Mm.
Two
Okay.
at that time, though, right?
Say again?
2 at that time, and then he teaches the third in response to the question.
Oh, yeah, the question is actually the 3rd period in the real. That's correct. Yeah. So here we go. Let's go. Venerable Utpala. And I don't know, is Joy Chen, are you there?
Yes,
Hey.
occasional.
Okay, try to criticize anything.
Chom din de ki tang por you para na ser trong song marawa mawa ridaki naksu niente ki takpala yang dakpar shupat nam la pakpe dempat shi dempe nampe.
Okay. And actually, it's the question. Here comes the question. Hey, Chom Dinde. What's that?
Hey, conquer.
Hey, Conquer. Tangbor.
First of all,
Yeah, in the beginning, you
in
were
the beginning.
saying you were in Varanasi.
You were in
Okay,
Varanasi.
You were in Varanasi. By the way, Varanasi, when you go there, it's really cute. People, like I went to a temple at 4:00 in the morning, and the orange fruit seller from the street was down there. Yeah, this guy bought oranges from every day, and he just looked like some weird little guy. And then he's down there in this temple, and he leans over to me and he says, "By the way, Varanasi is a separate universe. And it's been here for 5,000 years." So, Buddha taught there. Buddha was a latecomer there. Okay. So in Varanasi, there's a place called the Forest Knock, okay, where there's lots of sages and redux, okay. wild animals. Okay. In the forest called the place where sages and animals hang out. Okay. For the benefit of people who had entered the Shravaka vehicle.
The
Okay.
listener vehicle.
Shravaka vehicle. Yeah. You taught Pakpe Demashi.
Yeah, you taught the four truths.
Yeah. Okay. So he's referring.
Four noble truths.
Yeah, he's referring to the first turning of the wheel. Okay. You taught the four Arya truths. Okay. Please continue. Enjoy. You're still checking. Okay.
Okay.
Chiski. Chiki Korlo Ngotsar Metu Chungwa Ngon Hwar Gyur Palm or Palm Me or Mir Gyur Pa Su Kyang Chu Tang Tumparn Jikten Tuma Korwa Chikrap Tu Korte.
Yeah. You turned a wheel. Okay. You rocked the core. You super turned the wheel. That in this jikten makor.
Didn't turn. In this world, didn't turn.
Yeah, that nobody ever turned before.
Oh,
okay?
that nobody ever turned before.
Okay, nobody in this world ever turned it before, and you turned it, chidam timba, very correctly, okay, in keeping with the Dharma. Okay, who didn't turn it before? No Hla turned it before. No me turned it before. Okay? Nobody who was a Hla, Fargyur, and nobody who was a human, Mirgyur. By the way, her text was very corrupt. We changed text actually, but this was a very corrupt part of the text. Okay, so no God, no human ever turned that Dhamma wheel before. Okay, but you turned that Ngotsa Meda Chungwa Choki Korlo. It was super Ngotsa. Amazing and wondrous. Okay, Meta Chungwa. Okay. You turned that amazing wheel. Okay. Now here's the punchline. Go ahead. Joy, you're still there. Go ahead, Beth. Urpala. Sorry.
Chumdendeki Chiki Korlo Korwa Teyang Lana Chipa Kap Chipa Changweden Tsepe Shi Nesu Gyurpa Lakla.
Yeah, okay. Don't forget we're inside the sutra called What I Really Meant. Okay. And here's the disciple, Yanda Pak. Okay. And he's telling Lord Buddha that Chuki Korlo,
that turning
that Dharma wheel, that you korwad,
that you turned.
Lana Chipa. Okay.
As opposed to Lana Mepa.
Yeah, we see Lana Mepa all the time. No, nothing higher, nothing higher, nothing higher. Now you got the opposite. Lana Chi.
Nothing lower?
No.
There is something
higher. There is something higher. Okay.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
There's nothing lower because it's the lowest.
No, there are lower things.
Oh no, it's not lowest. It just means there is something better. And Kap Chipa means Tsupe Kap Chipa. Could be there is an opening. Kap Chipa means there is an occasion. Chipa means there is. Chipa and Yopa are the same thing. Chipa and Yopa are the same thing. Okay.
Right.
So this is a very strange sentence. Okay. A disciple of the Buddha is telling the Buddha, you know, that first teaching you gave, you could have done better. You could have said something higher. Because what you said has something higher. And what you said is open to debate. Kap Chipa, okay? And what you said was Tangwe Dun, was something we need to interpret or else it's going to be wrong. And what you said is Tsupe Shi, is arguable, debatable, okay? He's criticizing the first turning of the wheel. Okay, got it? Okay. Everything you said in the first turning of the wheel in that forest in Varanasi was something that wasn't the best you could have done. Okay. Got it?
Yeah.
Is he relating it like that, or is he just saying?
No, he's not criticizing. He's saying,
Okay.
I think the first turning of the wheel you gave was simplified for the people there. That's all he's saying. He's not criticizing the Buddha. He's just saying, look, seems to me like you didn't, it seems to me like you, in English, we say you pulled some punches. You could have really boxed the other people, but you didn't. You were trying to be soft, seems to me, okay? All right, here we go.
현대인데 기 전함 기ngowo ni machipa ni le sam kewa machipadam ngakpa machipadam sema ne shiwadam rang shingi yungsu nyeng le depa ni le samne.
Yeah, and by the way, he's referring already to the second turning of the wheel, okay? Hey, oh conqueror, then you said nothing has any goal.
Nothing has any essence.
And starting from that point, samne, okay? Starting from that point, starting by saying, I'm talking self-existently, okay? Very important. The structure here is very important.
Okay.
Starting by saying, listen, you guys, I'm talking self-existently. There's nothing that starts. Kewa machipa. Nothing in the universe ever starts. Kakba machipa. Nothing ever stops. Samane Shiva. Sama is a very rare word that means from time with no beginning. Okay. From the beginning of the universe, which has no beginning.
There is peace.
Everything is peace.
Everything's at peace. Everything's already at peace. Okay. And everything has already nyang in the depa.
It's already in nirvana naturally.
Yeah, the whole universe is naturally gone to nirvana already. Okay. All right. Samne means that's how you started the second turning of the wheel. Okay. It's already four things that nobody understands. Okay. Let's repeat them. Okay. First of all, I'm talking self-existently. Okay, you guys? Got it. Okay. Nothing starts. Nothing stops. Everything was peace from the beginning. And everything is naturally nirvana already. Okay. Got it? You okay? It's awful quiet out there. Sometimes I think my internet froze. Just giggle once in a while. Okay, here we go.
la yang par shupanam la tongpani mepe nampe je ngotsar made jungwe chukikor lo ni korte.
Yeah, and then you turn the second turning of the wheel. Okay, for who? Tekpa
Chempo, the greater vehicle.
For people who had entered, Shupa's past tense of Jupa. Okay, past tense of Jupa, yeah. For people who had already entered the greater way, you taught Tombani. Okay. And with that aspect, you taught this unbelievable second turning of the wheel. That was awesome. Okay, that was really awesome. Okay. By the way, what book are we in? Don't forget.
We are in Unraveling the True Thought. No, we're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Who follows that way of Chang'e?
Who follows that way of Chang'e is Master of Sangha.
Yeah, and Vasubandhu. Okay.
Vasubandhu.
Yeah, good. All right. And here we go. Next paragraph.
Chundinde ki chuki korlo korwa teyang lana chipa kab chipa drangweden tepe chi ne subjerpa laki. Isn't this the same as what he just said?
Yeah, he's gonna say it wasn't this way. Okay, in section 125.
Okay.
In section 125, he's gonna say, okay, you didn't teach the way you did the first time, where there was something better, where there was opening for argument, where there was opening to interpret it differently, where there was an opportunity to debate with you. Okay, you didn't do it that way. He's going to say it in 125. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
No.
Okay, keep going.
Chindende ki chinam ki ngo ni ma chipa ni le tsang kewa ma chipatang gakpa ma chipatang suma ne shiwadang rang shingi yang sunyanyam ne depa ni le samne.
Yeah, instead, you started off from samne, you started off from the concept, and you said, well, listen, everything I say today, you have to add the word
Self-existently.
Yeah, self-existently. Okay. Okay. Things don't start, things don't stop. Everything's been peace from the beginning, and everything is natural nirvana. Okay. That was your second turning of the wheel. Okay, keep going.
Tekpa tamchik la yangdak par shukpa nam la lekpar nam par chewatang tempa ngotsar metu chungwe chukikor lo sumpak korte.
Yeah, and following Dr. Kramer's comment, we can say, but nowadays, you are Korlo Sumbakor.
Yeah, you're turning the third.
Yeah, now you've reached the third.
The third turning of the wheel.
Yeah, you've reached the third stage in your life, the search stage in your teaching. And now you're saying, you guys have to lekpache. You have to distinguish what I said before. You're gonna have to weed out what I meant and what I didn't mean. Okay.
Well, I have to do it well. Right?
And telling us to do that is the third turning of the wheel. Okay. Got it? So now you're in the third turning of the wheel, and all day long you talk about how we're going to have to make this distinction between what you meant and what you didn't mean. Okay. And by the way, you got to understand one thing. According to a Sangha, telling us to distinguish between what he meant and what he really meant is the only thing he really meant.
So he's saying everything is figurative, except for telling us that we need to analyze things carefully.
Yeah. Asanga says both the first two turnings of the wheel were figurative. Okay. And he says the only one that's not figurative is where the Buddha confesses to being figurative in the first two. Okay. Got it? This is a Sangha. This is a Sangha. Okay. The only time the Buddha told the truth was when he told us to be careful about him not telling the truth. Okay. It's pretty awesome. Okay. I'll say it again. The only time the Buddha told the truth was when he told us to be careful that he wasn't always telling the truth. Okay. All right. That's a Sangha's position. Cool.
Yeah.
And then Tsongkhapa says, if a guy tells you he just lied to you twice, then why are you going to believe him that he just lied to you twice?
Don't believe anything I say.
Yeah, now I'm supposed to believe that? Wait, no, I guess so. Thank you so much, Geshe-la.
Okay, it's awesome. It's awesome. By the way, I mean, we're in the first pages of a 2,000-page book. I mean, where's he going to go from here? You know, this is an amazing text, And just for example, I took the lion's dance. The whole teaching comes out of this book. It's just 2 pages of the book, way down in the middle somewhere. and we taught it for 3-4 years, and it's amazing. This is an amazing book. Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys this evening.